fishing flies. You can see just how gorgeous they are through the camera. The dark spots have been burned by Mike Speir, who is my guest today and sitting with Sallie. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
And these are, tell me a bit about these fishing flies.
Okay, these are little nymphs. There's one, two, three different patterns. You've got red tag, little caterpillars, and you have pheasant tail.
And the whole point of them is to entice fish to eat them.
Yes. The little ones, they'll be below the water, drift down, trout see them.
And these are all for streams when you're doing fly fishing.
Streams or lakes.
And speckled trout, brook trout.
Brook trouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I know this from my childhood. I think I was telling you, my parents loved to fly fish. And on this, the other side, they're quite beautiful. These are different kinds of flies.
I figured I'd like to try making the wings and making it look, if I was going to tie a fly, then I'd tie a fly. And that's what they turned out to be.
And everything we're going to see today are things that you have tied yourself. Yeah. And you were explaining these little flies are made out of?
Pheasant tail, of pheasant feathers. And there can be other feathers. I can't think right now which ones they were, but something which is mottled or barred like that, that could be a partridge or some other flying animal.
And so you tie the fly on a hook with the feathers, you burn little stripes in it?
No, the feather is already marked like that. So what you do is you put it in your vise, you put the body on, if you're going to put a body on, then you put the legs on, as you can see some of them, they've all got legs, and then you put the wing on top, and that's it. You can probably do one in 5-6 minutes.
Okay, and you were saying you put something on the feathers so they, a shellac type.
I put this, which is head cement, and it just hardens everything up, because even a small trout, you know, a fingerling, it's got little pin-like teeth, so.
You chew up the feathers. So besides these beautiful flies, they really are quite stunning, we have much more colorful.
Yes, and much more fun to make, funny enough.
I can think so. And these are for different, of course,
That's
these are for fish out of Lake of the Woods, right?
Right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
In fact, I found you fishing behind the Kenora
Keewatin
Arena.
Yeah, although I wasn't doing that. I was fishing with what is commonly known as garden hackle, which is a worm.
Dig out a few worms. So you've got bass and what else?
That one closest to you, that is called a despair, and it's actually a sea fish.
Okay.
You can use that in salt water for peacock, bass, anything that's, you know.
And you were telling me that these are just beautiful. You were I got to make sure I don't stab myself.
Oh yeah.
So you were telling me that these are special feathers?
Yes.
From the nape of a chicken?
By the manufacturer and they're off the back of the chickens, and the capes, which are about this long, it can go anything 75 to 80, maybe more dollars.
Oh my. And they're bred especially for fly tying. And the colorful, the orange and green is deer hair.
The green is deer hair, and the orange is craft fur, which you can buy at Walmart.
Okay. So the deer hair is quite sturdy, I think.
Yes.
And then we've got some, like with this glitter bit. As I was saying before, they'd make gorgeous brooches. I can just see wearing this on a night out.
That's a combination of what it's called flashaboo and oh, I can't remember what the other one is, but it
Flash
again
or
you.
Boo would be a great name for a cat.
Oh yeah, again you can buy. I buy a lot of this stuff from a fly tying outlet
In Canada or do you have to
in
go
the
to States?
States,
Yeah.
and
And this you were telling me about, the body is made out of
craft foam.
craft foam, and then you
Just
paint.
cut it to size, and then you use craft glue, and you bend it, and a little bit of marabou feather
and
from the stalk, the marabou stalk,
Oh my goodness! And then
and
are these the
little
legs?
eggs.
These
Yeah.
are the legs.
Now the piece of plastic is a wig guard, so it doesn't get caught in lily pads and
Oh,
stuff like that.
And this because it's extruded foam floats very well.
Yeah, it'll pop as it goes through the water. That's what gets the fish going.
Oh, that pays attention.
Movement
Yes.
and sound.
So if a popping is almost like a small frog, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
And how do you figure out what feathers, what shape, how long the legs are, how long the tail is?
In my case, I've always had trouble working out the length of the tail until some wise person said, go 1.5 times the length of the hook. So, but there again, when you pick these, you can do it in any color that you've got. I mean, I've got bucktail in every known color, including pink, purple, green, blue. So the opportunities are endless.
So it just depends on if you're in a pink day or a purple
Yeah.
day.
One thing I would like to say is, doing this, you've got to want to do it, not force yourself. You force yourself to do this when you're not in the mood. Everything will go wrong.
It just doesn't work.
Thread will break, you know, cat will play with your scissors, something like that.
How long have you been doing fish tying?
Oh, how long have I been doing it?
Yes, fly tying.
About 40 years.
And what got you into it?
My mother, actually, God bless her, she was a very accomplished fly fisher lady, and she could use back there in the 30s, a 16-foot two-handed rod, and she could outcast me. So she got me interested. I found that there's something about it I wanted to learn, and once I got into it, it took me into biology, entomology, and glugology.
What's the last one?
Glugology.
I don't know what that means.
That's something I made up. But it's when you're wading, you slip on a rock, and you go glug, glug, glug to the bottom.
Oh, you have a lot of experience in that.
Once,
Once.
and only once.
Once was enough.
Oh yeah, because you're wearing waders, and your waders fill up with water.
You're stuck.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't a term that's been used in fishing circles that I just hadn't heard of.
Oh, it's my weird sense of humor.
So, Mike, we're going to take a short break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to do a bit of fly tying. You're going to show me how. So please come back. Welcome back to Sitting with Sallie. I have Mike Speir with me, who is a fly tying person.
Yes.
And Mike is going to show me how to tie a fly.
Yeah.
We're going to make a little yellow caterpillar, you said. Sounds exciting. It's not as exciting for you as it is for me.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. So you've got a vice grip here with a hook already in place.
Yeah.
And you've got the pointy bit away so we can't harm ourselves.
Yeah, you get the downturned eye.
Yeah.
So start off, you get your thread on your bobbin.
Right.
This incidentally is over 60 years old. I could go with one like this, but this fits my hands nicely. So start up.
Now, when you say thread, what thread are you using?
Especially thread for fly tying. It comes in all different sizes. For that little one on the paper there, I'd use even thinner thread.
And you're going with a bigger hook so we can see things a
Yes,
bit better.
or try, hopefully you will. Okay.
And you wound it around so many times. Do you count
Yeah.
or just till it looks right?
Till it looks right. It's all up to the individual person. With these, 90% of them, you start at the back and work to the front. Only in dry flies do you start at the front and then go to the back.
And you were explaining dry flies sit on the surface.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to get wet because they're no good.
Well, the trout looks up, sees it, food, bang. I don't have reaction fast enough because when he hits that fly, my reaction gives him enough time to go home, have supper, and get into bed. Then I strike. He's gone.
He's gone. Oh my goodness.
Uh,
That now what this is a
Off
whole
the back of a chicken.
wow. Okay, so this is what you're going to be needing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. You just take one feather, suitable feather.
So that will do a few flies.
Oh, many flies actually. And then you don't want this bit, it's a bit rough. It's a sort of, you just peel it back like that. And then you take where you've peeled it back and just tie it on there.
Okay.
Like that. Okay.
Then you've got a tail.
And
So the thread is going to make up a body, but it's also going to hold all the different
yes.
bits that you put on. Yes.
Yeah. So now take it forward, almost up to the bend to the front. The great thing in fly tying is proportions. If you get the wrong proportion, it doesn't look right.
And if it doesn't look right, a fish isn't going to come near it.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That's something I tell anybody I'm teaching.
Even if you don't like it, the fish.
Even if, exactly. Don't throw it away immediately. Go down to your closest stream or whatever. Try it. And you might be amazed. Oops. This is Fentex.
And what is that?
It's a type of wool, synthetic wool.
Yes, and it feels like it's a floater kind of thing. It's I don't know if that makes any difference.
Once these sink, funnily enough.
Oh, okay.
Although I have seen a brown trout come up and take it off the surface before it even hit the surface. So this is the main. Go back to where you tied in the feather and then come back.
So you want two. You can see it slowly taking shape.
And then once you got it like this, you tie it off. Then these are hackle pliers. You can pick up a feather. You see, it's got a little hook on it.
Right.
So getting ahead of myself. Soak the body with head cement.
And do you buy all of your supplies online, or?
Yes, or I do runs into Winnipeg to the only fly fishing outlet around here at the fishing hole. And but usually I get all my stuff from down in the States. You know. So now we've got that changed. The reason I do that is to give this some strength on the actual body. So you just now the thing here is you want to get that feather on edge, just like that, so it stands up.
Oh, so it's looking bristly.
It's little legs.
Ah.
And if you can, if you look a bit quite closely, you'll see they're going forward. That means that when they're moving in the water, they like that. You know.
It's very exciting to see it take shape.
Well, that's it. That's it, basically. Now, just to finish it off, this is a wet finisher. So a lot of people get completely confused by this.
Well, that's to give them a bit of a head.
Yeah, little black head.
Now you're saying that this will sink when it's.
Yeah.
And it's looking like a little larva or worm. Or?
Yeah, a little. Well, just like a itsy bitsy caterpillar. There we go.
That's marvelous, Mike. Look at that.
Thank you. That's for you.
Thank you. I've always wanted a little yellow caterpillar fish hook.
I could make you a humongous one.
Well, maybe I'll get you to do that one day. Now, tell me, do you have, where do you get all the ideas for all these different ties?
Usually from YouTube. It depends.
There is a fish tying YouTube.
There are thousands and thousands of sites on YouTube. All you have to do is type in bass bug or bass fly, pike fly, shark fly,
Whatever,
you name it,
whatever kind you want.
and you will come up with thousands. Now, the way I do it, my TV is here, and my computer's here, and my fly tying desk is behind me. So I'm constantly tie a bit.
You can look and tie at the same time, sort of one step at a
which is
time.
hard work. So what I do is I have a tablet that has YouTube on it, and it sits right beside my desk where I'm tying.
Oh, very good.
And I work through a pattern. When I want it to stop, I just...
Okay.
So these are...
Well, thank you, and we'll take another short break. So welcome back to Sitting with Sallie. I'm here with Mike Speir. He's been showing me how to do some fly tying. And Mike, I just wanted to show you this fishing creel that my folks used in the 50s, because we lived in Alberta at the time, and they were avid fly fishers. And
it's brilliant, beautiful.
It's not used for fish anymore, but at one point it held our breakfast.
Well, you know something? Keep it, because that's a genuine antique.
It's in
And
pretty good
I
shape.
see that, and I think of Isaac Walton, who was a mother of fly fishing in Britain. That's beautiful.
So tell me a bit about history of fly tying. You were saying that it became popular in the 1600s?
Yes, a nun by the name of Dame Juliana Berners is reputed to have been very interested. She tied her own flies, and back then they knew how to dye uh, materials. They knew how to make tapered leaders. They made their hooks out of pins. And one of the interesting things is, do you know what they used as line or leaders?
Catgut?
No.
No, I don't.
Hair from horses' tails.
Oh,
You know,
yes,
nice
yes,
and long.
yes.
If they were after a fairly big trout, they'd get 4, braid them, 3, braid them, 2, braid them,
Just to
and
get it
what have you
thinner.
got? A tapered leader.
My goodness.
And modern uh, monofilament, I believe, is about the same tensile strength as horsehair of the equal diameter.
It's quite amazing to think of all the things we were talking about, the ties too, but none of it would have had anything man-made. It all would have been natural.
Well, they didn't even have reels back then, so they'd tie the line right to the tip of, they'd cut a willow
Switch kind of
switch
thing.
and tie that line to that. It was illegal, actually, for a while, so they knew how to make sectional rods and hide it, you know, so down there, the leg of
Oh,
their
because
trousers.
they would have been poaching in some areas,
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
So where's your favorite place to fish?
Oh, anywhere there's water. No,
So you're in a good place here in
oh,
Kenora then?
brilliant, brilliant. I love it up here, but my heart still goes back to River Findhorn in Scotland, which is where I caught my first Atlantic salmon, 28.5 pounds.
On a fly that you had tied?
Not that I tied, but wow.
A good fighter, I bet.
Yeah, half an hour to land it.
And you told me you were doing catch and release. Were you doing catch and release then, or?
No, I must admit I had took that home, and we ate smoked salmon and everything else for about 2 weeks.
How often do you go fishing when you're in Kenora?
Recently, not very many, not often. When we met on the dock here, I hadn't fished, but I think I'd been out twice. For some unknown reason, I had medical problems, so I kind of turned off. But
So it's just serendipity that you happen to be on the dock at the same time?
oh yeah, yeah. Met a lot of nice people there, you know, and
It's a lovely spot.
oh, absolutely. But
So you have some other
yes.
ties you're going to show.
Oh, hang on a minute. It's a wonderful way of wasting time, this sport.
It's quite a skill.
Okay. These are my versions of a Dahlberg diver by Larry Dahlberg, 20 years ago. He came up, and that's for pike and bass.
This is beautiful, and it's got a little brush cut.
Yeah.
And what are these feathers?
Those are called zonka strips, and that's chicken. I beg your pardon, rabbit.
Ah.
And,
Oh, you can see a bit of, yes, rabbit. Rabbit, and then this part is
Flashaboo.
Flashaboo, and then the green,
Is deer hair.
and then the white little...
It's all part of the
same
green.
thing, oh, you just cut it differently.
Yeah.
And then the head is the same part?
Yeah, it's all, that's spun deer hair. And, but I can give you one here that is there. There's,
Oh, look at this beautiful.
see, you
look at
can't,
this tail.
there's red hidden in the yellow.
Oh, back here, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And again, this is rabbit. Look at the long
Yeah,
tail.
same thing. And
These are very handsome little guys. And these are for pike.
anything. Pike will hit them. Muskie might.
Oh, look at, yeah, bring out that speckled fur. Look at the feathers in this one. Oh. So again, chicken feathers
Yeah,
and flashaboo, you said?
flashaboo.
I love that name.
And a little, with a little weed guard on it.
Oh, right here, yes,
Yeah.
look, yes. And what's that for?
The same, variety.
Okay. That's
Oh, what else?
more.
Okay. Completely white one.
Oh, my.
He looks better once it's been in the water.
Yes, yes.
He's having a bad hair day
Now, where would you use this? Or
right out here.
okay.
I bring my boat in here and just cast off the. This doesn't look like much, but be careful, the hook is there.
You can
That
barely see it.
is a what's it called?
Trying to make them swim.
It's a woolly bugger.
A whirlybugger.
Yeah,
Great name.
it's like supposed to be a sort of eel thing.
Right, I can see his tail would do a good.
But oh, good grief! What else can I?
Oh, just bring him out.
They're pretty well all the.
That's. Oh, he's got double feathers. this
Yeah,
one, yeah.
they're the sort of legs, the little pulse in the water.
Okay. And the whole thing is to try and look like you're a little fish.
Not necessarily look like anything except that it gives the fish an impression. A, it may be edible. B, it must be alive. It's moving, or it could be a frog.
So I want to taste it. I want to eat it.
Yeah, I was fooling around one day.
Huh.
I had some spare deer hair over, and so I thought I'd just
Now, this, you were saying what is this deer hair?
deer tail,
Deer tail.
bucktail.
But it's
called.
compacted somehow?
You press it when you're tying it. If you spin it around the hook, and then you spin another bunch, and then you push it together.
Oh, so it stays very compact.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's just a silly thing, just to,
Why not?
Why not indeed? Let me see what else I've got.
Okay, well, just give me the box. Why not?
Oh, here's something that's quite.
Well, before you do, this one's quite flashy.
Oh yeah, I'm not guaranteeing anything that may catch. It might be best for decorating ladies' hats.
I still think it looks like a great brooch. Well,
Listen, Sally, please take it. My compliments. Use it as a brooch.
there you go. I have to worry about the thing.
That is what is. That's tied upside down. You see, I've got Well, when you tie it this way, and then you fold it all back, and you get it that way. So, and there again, you can.
As Mike continues to show me all these lovely flies, we're going to say goodbye and thank you for joining Mike Speir and I. We're sitting with Sallie.